Okay, now we have what's called scalar multiplication. And you're going to treat it very much like you would when in numbers on the outside of parentheses, you do what's called the distributive and you multiply. Let's say that there is an x and a y in there. That would become 2 times x, that operator plus sign, and then 2 times y. So the distributive property, much like, think about a UPS driver, they distribute packages at each address. So you got a UPS truck, right? I'm really bad at drawing, so try not to judge me. But inside here, there are addresses on these packages. Well, the UPS driver has to stop at each of those. Well, scalar multiplication, you're going to do the same thing. If the number's on the outside of the matrix, you treat it like so. Well, let me step back. Identify the size of matrix, 2 rows, 2 columns, so it's a 2 by 2 in this case. Therefore, the product will be a 2 by 2. And you need to be labeling it. And then now this is what we're going to do. Now, if I were cruel, I would say do this. 2 times negative 2, 2 times 2, 2 times 4. Go ahead and write it down just like that. And then you can write, that will prevent you, by the way, from making clerical errors if you do it that way. Because sometimes when you have to look very far away from what you're actually multiplying, we get distracted, we look away. So it's best to just rewrite that and then do the multiplication. So negative 4 for the upper left, positive 4 for the upper right. 2 times 4 is 8 for the lower left. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And that's the answer. Okay, now if you think that, sorry about this, if you think, wait a second, I can just do this. I don't need to put that in intermediate step. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And then 4 times negative 1 again, negative 4. 4 times negative 3, negative 12. 4 times negative 4, negative 16. And you're done. All right, let's see. There is, so we're going to come over to number 22. So notice we now have expressions, not just one term. So it's negative 2 times that expression. It's negative 2 times that expression. So you're actually going to have this is 1 row by 3 columns. This will be 1 row by 3 columns. And the final answer will be 1 row by 3 columns. All right, so I'm going to show you that process. So we have a negative 2 on the outside, and then we're multiplying this expression, b subtract 6. And then negative 2 times v plus 6, and then negative 2 times negative u. I did not need to go that far with that. All right, so that's for the top row. The bottom, and it's only 1 row. So I also didn't need to make that so big. Okay, So then negative 2 times v is negative 2v. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Then negative 2 times v is negative 2v. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. And then negative 2 times negative 2 times negative u is positive. That's going to show up in just a second. Is positive 2u.